Hey guys, it's Brittany, and welcome to the Paranormal Dimension. And today I'll be sharing with you these different paranormal experiences that I have been experiencing lately when it comes to knocking. So, now, of course, I think for those who have experienced knocking, spiritual knocking, is that it's different for everyone, and I believe that when it comes to this is what I think, that if it's something really hard and if it sounds like very startling, it may not be something good. But if it's something where it's a little hard but not in the startling way, and if it's something that gets your attention, then I don't think it's bad. So, there are different meanings, so I looked this up because now before a long time ago, because I've always experienced knocking, but when I do, it's always like 3 times. But as of I would say last month and this month, I've been experiencing knocking where it's not just 3 times, and sometimes I hear it where it's 2 times or 1 time, and I'm like, okay, that is strange, at least for me in a way, because I've never heard knocking just 1 time or 2 times. Usually it's like three, or sometimes not quite often, but other times it would be 4 times. So I'm like, what does this mean? So I actually looked it up because I'm about to read to you what each knock means when you hear it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So now lately the knocking has toned down a bit, but I wouldn't doubt if I start to experience it again. But the thing is, when I was experiencing this at the time when it was a little bit more frequent, I don't know if some of them were either good, trying to get my attention, like maybe trying to say, hey, don't worry, I'm here. Or I don't know if the other ones were trying to distract me, maybe trying to throw me off of what I was doing, and maybe instead of focusing on what I was doing, that now instead I'm more focused on the knocking, and it's just throwing me off track. And it's like, now instead of being focused on this other thing that I need to be focused on, that now it's trying to get my attention, so that way I won't be focused on that thing, because now I'm just focused on the knocking that I heard. So it could be bad too. So I'm not sure. So lately I have prayed about it, because I wasn't sure what was causing the knocking, if some of them, like I said, were either good or some of them weren't. So I don't know, because it could have been negative too, and I just probably didn't know that some of them probably were, but I don't think all of them, but maybe just some of them. So here's what it means. It says here what the number of knocks mean spiritually. Okay, one. Okay, so one knock, you're receiving a message. Okay, I didn't know that, so let's read this further. One knock simply means the universe or a loved one who passed is trying to communicate. Although unlikely, some believe it's a sign that a bad spirit has entered the home to attack, so you should take appropriate action. Oh, okay. Now that I did not know, because when it came to the one knock, I thought, one knock? Oh, why one knock? So yeah, so it says that some believe it's a sign of a bad spirit that has entered the home to attack, and you should take appropriate action. Now, it could mean that, and there are some that believe that, but it's saying that one knock means the universe or a loved one who who passed is trying to communicate. So let's say if it was the case, let's say if it was that, then I had no idea about that when I heard that one knock, that maybe that a loved one who had passed was trying to communicate, or even if it meant maybe a bad spirit who has entered the home and that I should take appropriate action, you know. So I don't know. So that's what it means. 2 knocks. You will meet your twin flame. Really? Okay, now this is getting interesting. The number 2 represents love and commitment. So 2 knocks is a sure sign that you are about to connect with your soulmate or twin flame. That is interesting. I did not know that. And yeah, the thing is, I have been hearing 2 knocks. And so, yeah, I would say sometimes I feel like I hear 2 knocks a little more than the 1 knock or 3. So that's what it means. Okay, but you know what? I did not know that before until now, so I believe that. I do, without a doubt. Okay, 3 knocks. Practice. So when you hear 3 knocks, it means practice mindfulness. They say be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Well, the number 3 is a reminder to be mindful and fully aware of the consequences and repercussions of your actions. 3 knocks tells you to prioritize what you serves you to become whole. Okay. Okay, so that's what it means, because as I mentioned earlier, that even for a long time I've always been hearing 3 knocks and I never knew what 3 meant, but now that I know, so it's like, okay, that's what it meant. 4 knocks. Stay balanced and centered. If you hear 4 knocks, it's time to practice consistency in order to create stability in your life. A square has 4 sides, 4 angles, and 4 points, making it the most stable foundation. Normalize your routine, build healthy habits that make you better in every way, and make sure you have balance for your mental well-being. Okay, so that's what 4 knocks mean. Although I think I've heard of 4 knocks maybe a couple of times, but not as often as 1, 2, and 3. 5 knocks. 5 knocks, a divine transformation is underway. Okay, let's see. 5 knocks underscores huge changes in your life. You are in the midst of an epic shift, good or bad. This is a note that you need to stop procrastinating and take initiative. Okay. Be prepared and take the necessary action. 1, 2, 3, or 4 knocks can be attributed to other causes, but 5 is unmistakable. 5 represents all of the elements of nature: earth, water, fire, air, and space. 5 knocks is also the clearest sign that God has a message from the spiritual world that you can get. Wow. Okay, so there is more here that I can read of what it means, but okay, it says here, what does it mean if you hear knocking but nobody is there? A knock on the door when no one is there is an indicative of your guardian angels watching over you, which is a good thing. Open your mind, listen, and be representative to new ideas. Knocking at the door is nothing to be afraid of. is either a blessing or a lesson to be learned. Make sure you keep your eyes open and your vibration high for the absolute best outcome. So, okay, so as I mentioned, there have been times I've been hearing one knock, and two knocks, and three knocks. So I never heard, well, actually, when I heard four knocks, it was most likely when it was, like, I heard it a couple of times, but that was it. But I don't think there was a time I've heard five knocks. Now, if I ever do hear five knocks, I would actually be quite surprised because I never heard five knocks. But yes, there's times where I hear one knock, two knocks, three knocks. But the thing is, now two surprised me. It surprised me that I did not expect what I thought it would mean, but it actually does, because it says here that the number two represents love and commitment. So two knocks is a sure sign that you are about to connect with your soulmate or twin flame. So I believe that because when the other times I've been hearing two knocks, I just wasn't sure, like, okay, what does the one knock mean? What does the two knocks mean? Three knocks. But now that I know what two knocks mean, that's a good thing. That is a good sign. And so I feel like if I ever hear two knocks again, which could be at any time, so I feel like if there is at any time, any day, if I ever hear two knocks, then I know what that would mean. And I would know that, okay, this is a good sign. This is a message that I'm receiving. So, yeah. So I do believe that. So I will say, even though there's no other stories for me to tell specifically, but that's what I've been hearing on and off. I mean, like I said, lately it has toned it down, but I think it's a good thing I looked up on the meaning of these knocks, and that when you hear how many knocks and what does it mean. So I'm glad I looked that up. So now I know. So I'm actually glad that I know that, because it's like, now that I know, if I hear any of these knocks, that this is what it means, and that's is a good sign, and it's a message, a good positive message. So I am glad of that. So yes. So anyway, that's just something I thought I would share with you, because yeah, I had been experiencing knocking quite often, but like I said, lately it has toned it down. But I wouldn't doubt it that knowing, it's like, now that I know how the meaning to those knocks, and how many times, and how many when you do hear those knocks, that was the meaning to the one knock, the two knocks, and three knocks. So at least now that I know, so if I ever get to experience hearing those knocks again, then I will know exactly what those knocks mean, and the message behind those knocks. So now that I know, so that's good. And now that you know, so if you ever have experienced knocking when no one is there, physically there, comment down below if you had experienced this, because this is something I've experienced for a long time when it comes to knocking, even though it has toned it down. But I would not doubt for 1 second that I'll probably get to experience even probably more knocking. And if I ever do, I will certainly let you know about that. So, hope you guys enjoyed this paranormal video. So, that is all for, okay, so for more, so for more movie content, reaction streams, and the paranormal, subscribe and click on the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.